to the Zanthia Oliver Show. I'm the councilwoman for the 3rd District, and tonight we have several guests on here. But before I get started, I would like to thank everyone who ran for election. I look forward to, I'm going to miss some of my old colleagues, and I'm welcoming the new ones, and looking forward to moving the city forward. I'd like to give a special thanks to Councilwoman Hanifa Shabazz, who was in leadership for 16 years, who's done an outstanding job for the city of Wilmington. But I'm looking forward to working with my dear friend, Trippy Congo. He's been on council for years also, and I'm sure we're gonna get a lot of things done in the city and move the city forward. And thanks again, because it takes a lot of courage just to even run for office. And one thing about me, politics makes good bedfellows, but depends on who it is. When this race is over, elections are over, that's the end of it. I don't hold any grudges. I mean, I'm not that type of person anyway, but these elections, they don't validate me, who I am. I'm still the same person. I'm always gonna be the same person. So congratulations to a lot of people, and to the ones who didn't win, we're still friends. Okay, with that being said, I would like to invite Miss Adrienne Spencer. She works with urban farms, and she has been involved with quite a few of them. So Miss Spencer, tonight, we're talking about some urban farms, a local, but could you tell me a little bit about the one, Eric Robinson, over in the 3rd District over 11th Street Bridge?
Okay, well, first of all, as you said, my name is Adrienne Spencer, and I work with the Delaware Center for Horticulture. We operate the Eric D. Robinson Urban Farm, which is located at 12th and Brandywine Street. And the Robinson Urban Farm was established in 2009. It was established as because Eric Robinson, who I believe was also a city councilman at one time, and a very active civic leader, approached the Delaware Center for Horticulture because he was concerned about a plot of land that was vacant in the 11th Street Bridge area that had gone, into plight. It was strewn with trash and tires and, just abandoned. And it was an eyesore to the neighborhood, and he wanted to do something about it. He wanted a green space placed there. So the Delaware Center for Horticulture took on the challenge to have that plot of land located right on the corner of 12th and Brandywine turned into a urban farm, into Wilmington's very first urban farm and community garden. It serves both functions. The urban farm being a production space, which is this area that I am responsible for. And we grow an assortment of fresh fruits and vegetables. And our primary function is to provide access to the low-income families that live in and around the 11th Street Bridge, so that those families can have access to low-income quality fruit and vegetables anytime they want without having to pay, an outrageous sum, and most importantly, don't have to travel a great distance to get it. And that is probably the greatest challenge that many people who don't eat fresh fruit and vegetables face, is the inability to be able to get to the store to get them. As you know, lots of African-American families and low-income families in general, not just African-American, don't have reliable transportation, or they share transportation with another family member who probably is using the car to go to work. And so
so let me ask you a question. So, because I was going to ask you, kind of answering the question. So, what is the economic impact of urban farms in urban communities? Because you were answering that question, so I wanted to ask it.
What our goal is, and what the goal of urban farming and community gardening is, to offset the impact of the economic impact of having to pay those high prices for fresh fruits and vegetables.
Now, how often do the community, the residents in that area, how often, I mean, I know now with the COVID, but when you were busy, I would see people coming around. And how often do you allow them to come around, or do they make a phone call and say, Ms. Spencer, do you have any tomatoes available? I've had some of your tomatoes and greens from over there, and I know they were really good. So do they contact you, or how does that work, or do they walk up?
Well, our urban farm is open every morning from 9:30 to 12, and as long as those gates are open, anyone is welcome to come in and make a purchase. This year, which is a little different, as you said, because of the pandemic, has been different than the years in past. We've partnered with the Philadelphia Horticultural Society in sponsoring a program called Harvest 2020.
Okay.
And through the Harvest 2020 program, we make donations of produce boxes every Thursday from 12 to 1 at the gate to anyone who wishes to come and get it. And in fact, I would even deliver if necessary.
Okay, so that was today. That was today. From
As a matter of
12
fact, I
until
just
1.
left.
So from 12 to 1, is it every Thursday, every other Thursday?
Every
Oh, every
Thursday.
Thursday from 12 to 1 over 11th Street Bridge at the Eric Robertson, which Ms. Spencer manages. From 12 to 1, you're able to pull up and pick up a box of whatever
free
fresh food.
produce
Free
every
fresh
Thursday, and it's
produce.
free.
Right, and that's good because a lot of people, that's why I enjoyed this show, just to put out some information, because there's some individuals who don't even know about that. You always think of the food bank, but it's a lot of little individual villages, I call them, who are really giving out food and doing other things and home items. You just need to find out about them. So on Thursdays, between 12 and 1 over 11th Street Bridge. Tell me some of your experiences with some of your urban, because I know you're really involved with the urban farm. So tell me some of your experiences with urban farming.
So my experiences,
With urban
well,
farming.
I've had a variety of experiences over the past 7 years. I've been with at that location since I started with DCH, and I've been very fortunate to have met so many great people, been involved in a lot of different events and programs, and had the opportunity to travel to different parts of the world. I went to South Africa, as a matter of fact, a couple of years ago, and worked with a group called the Abilene Farmers.
And what do you
which
get?
is
A
one
lot
of
of
the
training?
oldest
Get some
urban farming
training?
organizations in the world.
You get some training? I mean, when you went over there, did you just
Well,
learn?
actually, not to train, but to just observe and to exchange ideas and to just get the benefit of some of the techniques that they use. You know, every part of the world, there's challenges are so similar. We think that because it's all the way on another part of the globe that they experiences are
And it's the
vastly
same.
different, but you have the same challenges of apathy, education, people, not taking advantage of the opportunity to
Some
have,
fresh food.
fresh fruits and vegetables. So a lot of the challenges that the Abilene farmers faced, we've dealt with right here in Wilmington. And because they had been so successful, I wanted to go there and find out what they had done to overcome these challenges.
Let me ask you another question. So, what are some of the fruits that you grow on over 11th Street Bridge? I know, and I noticed that different people do their own little, have their own little garden. I think
They have
that's
their
a
own
good
raised
idea. They
bed.
have their own bin, and I thought that was interesting.
Yes.
So, what's some of the things that you're growing over there?
Well, as far as fruits, we're known for our blackberries. We have some of the sweetest, juiciest, biggest blackberries this side in the Rocky Mountains.
I've had some.
And we also have raspberries, and we grow. We have miniature apples, but they're miniature apple trees. They're not really miniature apples, but they're what they call dwarf apple trees. But our primary fruit that we grow are blackberries, but we do have raspberries, grapes, strawberries, and as I said, apples. And then we grow a variety. Every year we grow a variety of produce, and try to incorporate something different each year.
You have some lettuce over there, remember? Didn't you have some lettuce over there?
A variety of different lettuces as well, yes. And we try to incorporate something new this year. Actually, last year I incorporated something old-fashioned fruit. I guess you call it rhubarb. I don't know. You probably heard about rhubarb.
I've heard of it. That was
but a lot of young folks probably never heard of rhubarb.
Yeah, okay.
So,
Now, one thing I really have to give you credit, how you get the youth to participate in the seniors. So I remember riding by one day, I saw a group of youth, looked like they might have been from the DCH. And then we had an event over there together. We partnered with an event, and I enjoyed that. We had the vendors over there, and everybody. Then people were getting exposed to the urban farm, and you had people talking to them. I know OBV was out, Old Brandywine Village came out, and you had a lot of people come out that day.
That was a great event.
That was
yes,
buzz.
And you were great.
The weather was
big help
nice.
that was summer. That was a great event.
Thank you.
And hopefully we'll get a chance to do it again.
Yes,
you know, maybe hopefully next summer the pandemic will be over,
right?
And maybe we'll get a chance to do it again. Yes.
Now, like you said, with the pandemic, you're just able to. I'm glad you was able to partner with another organization. Is that occurring all over? I guess with the pandemic, you'll have to partner, try to, make some rearrangements.
Yeah, because this is a worldwide event. It's affected, every nation has been affected in some way, shape, or form by this terrible disease.
Right.
And fortunately, because of organizations like Philadelphia Horticultural Society and the Delaware Center for Horticulture and many others like those, we are trying, as the Food Bank of Delaware, we've partnered with them as well. We are trying to do as much as we can to offset the lack of access of, quality and nutritional foods to families who have a hard time providing for their families. So, it's been hard. It's really sad to see so many families struggling.
Well, I'd like to thank you for coming on, and I'll make sure I come over there as usual and pick me up something.
Absolutely.
And I have some neighbors that really enjoy your fruit, and you can tell the DCH, they're doing a good job along with the urban farm. I like the way y'all collaborate. It's a lot of small organizations out in Wilmington that are working together, and we just don't know about it. So sometimes we just have to be informed. So it takes a village. It's small organizations such as this urban farm who help out our community in a lot of ways that individuals don't realize. So I'd like to thank you. Would you like to say anything?
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. Would you like to say anything in closing?
No, I just would like to remind folks to come out and take part in our Harvest 2020 program. Anyone who has any fruits or vegetables that they may be a farmer or grow it themselves at home and wishes to make donations, we also are encouraging local growers to donate as well so that we can add to our produce boxes or donate our surplus to the Food Bank of Delaware.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
And stay tuned. We have another guest coming on, and I appreciate everyone for watching us. Thanks again.
Good night.
Good evening. Welcome back to the Zanthia Oliver Show. I'm here with my dear friend, Edgy George from Second Chance. Second Chance, and welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And
course.
Congratulations on your re-election.
Thank you so much. And it's always a pleasure working with you because you get a lot done over there on Bauer Street. Let's talk a little bit about the Second Chance. Could you explain to people what the Second Chance is about and how long has it been in effect?
Okay. So we are Second Chances Farm. So we have 3 words in our name. The farm is the easiest one to explain. We are located at 3030 Bauer Street in your district, thanks to you sponsoring a resolution to amend the city council zoning code, which prohibited indoor farming. So we are there. We are in a 47,500 square foot building that some people know as the Opportunity Center. We kept the name as the Opportunity Center because we're giving opportunities for a whole new group of people. We are the first indoor vertical farm in the state. And what an indoor vertical farm means that we are growing everything inside a building. We have no soil, which I know people find it hard to believe. We grow 365 days a year because we are not dependent on the weather.
Wow.
And we grow it in like a skyscraper. So we have 6 and 8 level skyscrapers inside the building.
I was there. Excuse me. I was over there when you had the grand opening.
The Ladybug.
The Ladybug, and just climbing up on the lift and see how high it went, where your plants are, everything's growing. It was interesting. And how's it coming along
It's
now?
coming along really well. So the farm part is doing exceptionally well. We moved in the building, you asked when, September 4th of 2019. So a year and 2 weeks today.
Oh.
And then we hired our first cohort of returning citizens on January 6th, 2020. So that ties into our first two words in our name, second chances.
Right.
We only hire people who are formerly incarcerated. So unlike most employers who discriminate against people, we only discriminate against people who haven't gone to prison, because we are all about giving a second chance. So that, except for the leadership team and myself, which is a very small group, everybody working in the farm is a former returning citizen. It's a former incarcerated person who we call returning citizens.
So that's really good for people to know. The second chance only hires individuals who are returning, who's getting out of prison.
Came home. We came home
from prison, right?
Yeah.
And you're giving them a second chance.
And sometimes we give third and fourth and fifth chance.
That's right. This might be the third or fourth or fifth, but you give them that opportunity. And I really appreciate that, because I used to work with Mr. Wendell Howe with the reentry program for years. And people don't realize sometimes people come home, they don't have anywhere to turn to. They don't have anything. They don't have any hope. And the second chance form gives them an opportunity. And plus, they make good money. How much are they making an hour?
So for the first 16 weeks when they come in, we call that the reentry period.
16 weeks.
Is $13 an hour. Okay, just to that's for them to
coming out of prison is pretty good.
They get to look at us, we get to look at them, and at the end of 16 weeks, they get to decide, and we get to decide jointly if they are good. And if they are, we offer them a 52-week entrepreneur in residence program. It's at $31,200 a year plus medical benefits and 401k and all those good stuff. It's a livable wage and plus the medical benefits, which, as you know, is very hard to get for that.
That's right.
And so during that 1 year period, it's entrepreneur in residence, and we call it that as opposed to being apprentice or farmers, because
I like the
because
title.
what we're trying to do is create a group of entrepreneurs.
Right.
People who come from prison who are formerly incarcerated have a scarlet letter on their back. It doesn't matter how much they try, how long it's been on this stuff. So we're not trying to create a worker force. We're trying to create entrepreneurs, because you're an entrepreneur, you cannot be fired.
Okay.
All right. So the idea really is to create entrepreneurs, and that's really our mission. I say that we grow two crops at our farm. One is produce and herbs, and the other one is a group of compassionate capitalists.
I've used that before, talking about the urban farm, that you grow two type of individuals over there. I'm glad you mentioned that. I had sent two gentlemen over there, and I think they're still there. Remember Miss Pat, right?
Yeah.
She had hired them, and I know I saw one of the guys, I won't call his name, but I saw one of the sisters, and she told me that that program has changed his life, and he was living with her, and how he's able to help assist her with help and giving her some rent now. So the reentry, second chance forms is well needed. It's in that population, it's in that community, but you don't just deal with that community. You have people who you work with who coming out of prison, who go in prison. It's anybody who
lives in Delaware, but they can be in any federal prison or state prison as long as they're dealing. And the whole idea is to.
How many do you have now?
We have right now, as of this morning, 36 people. So when you think about it, in January 1st, we had 0 people.
Right.
So when you think about the Riverside community, which you represent, there are no active businesses except for the Popeyes and the dollar stores.
That's right.
So we have added 36 people, and when you think about that, if you just round it up at 31,000, that's $1 million in payroll, which means people are spending that money, they're paying taxes, they have the opportunity to be free, they care for their families, and so we think what we're doing changes lives. But we also, from a Riverside.
You are changing lives. When you're giving people opportunity to make an income, it's going to help them economically. They're working, and you're training them. They have to come in a certain hour. Yeah. They have to learn what they're doing. They take a break. They come back to work. It gives them some structure.
And we also we do a lot of training courses, because a lot of them haven't had that stuff. But we also give them mentors, individual mentors.
You have your exercise.
We are just getting ready to open up, and there's going to be a CrossFit gym in the next 60 days. That's open at no cost to our employees. But the real truth is what we're really doing is giving them hope. And so, as you know, Riverside is a community that no one knew unless you're the councilman like you. People, most in the city, have never gone over the 12th Street Bridge to really, that's a forgotten community. And what Reach Riverside is doing and what Bogan Herring and what Teen Warehouse is doing, we sort of feel we are bookends between Teen Warehouse and in between. And I think we can transform lives and give hope, because hope is something that you can't buy. You can't go to a store and buy. And my hope is that people in Riverside believe that there is hope for them and for their lives, but they got to take their responsibility for their community also.
Yes.
So,
and I'm glad you mentioned that, because that Reach Riverside, along with the urban. I keep saying urban, but you know, I mean the Second Chance farms. I mean, they kind of do some of the same things, but it's totally different. But I'm so used to talking about farming. With the residents over Riverside, with the Reach Riverside, with Logan and Kenyatta doing over there, and they're down this end and you're down this end, and working with the residents over there. A lot of the residents are getting their credits together, planning on returning over there to some of the homes. Some's going to be rental homes, some are going to be first-time home buyers. I'm looking for that area to really give people hope. I mean, the change over there, all the enhancements with that corridor, that 495 off the Governor Prince Ali Boulevard. Hopefully we get some nice restaurants over there soon. But I'm impressed with the work you're doing, and kudos to you. How's your book coming along? Just on another note.
Thank you for saying that. So I wrote a book last year, and in part because I was the licensee for TEDx Wilmington, and I did 32 TEDx events from 2011 to 2018. Wow. And so when I retired, and we had 496 speakers from around the world, it is because of TEDx and a couple of TEDx talks.
Can you tell people what TEDx is?
Yeah, TEDx is it's a platform where people give their ideas about spreading in 18 minutes or less. It's a national platform. And so just imagine 496 people gave talks in Wilmington at 32 events. We have over 31 million views from TEDx Wilmington alone.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I decided to write a book when I left, because I was going to create the farm. And it's my journey from TEDx Wilmington, Second Chances Farm. Some ideas were spreading that I made into ideas that made into actualization. So it's called The Magic of the Red Carpet. And because you speak on a red carpet, and it's available on Amazon if anyone's interested. Any money I make from the book goes back into Second Chances Farm.
Could you repeat that in
So it's the Second Chances Farm. My journey is encapsulated in a book called The Magic of the Red Carpet. It's available on Amazon.com. And if you buy the book, the net proceeds from the book are invested back in Second Chances Farm. It's not for me to make money, but it explains what TEDx is, highlights some of the great talks over the years, and we now have, I think, close to 32 million views from TEDx Wilmington, which you consider when how small Wilmington is. That's a lot of ideas worth spreading that we have done.
You're involved with a lot of stuff, and you have been involved over the years. So I know a lot of people, when they talk about you, they say, you know, he's always involved. He's always been involved with something. He's always been there for the people. I mean, even if it, like she said, Ms. Spencer, even if from Philly to Wilmington, so you know, a real world individual. And I just like to take the time to thank you for coming on and speaking about the urban, the Second Chance farms. Is there some things you'd like to say in closing?
Well, I would say to you that I encourage the people who are watching this show, if they know somebody who's returning home, and even they can have returned home 25 years ago, all right? But they still are suffering from the consequence on it.
Is it a phone number they could call?
It's actually all on our website. You apply online. It's at www.second, S-C-C-O-N-D, chances, plural, C-H-A-N-C-E-S, farm.com. It's an online application. Every single person is given an interview by Patricia May. And as we hire more and more people, we hope that you don't give up hope and you apply. And what we want to do is transform your life into a life of a compassionate capitalist.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I've worked with reentry for years. And anytime you have 36 individuals from January and they're still there, that program is working. Because it's hard to keep people's attention, to stay focused when they're coming home from imprisonment and not being offered any help, as you said, and any hope. So that is giving them hope. Anytime they get paid $13 an hour, returning from incarceration and getting the training and the exercise and the mentorships. And you have a lot of other things over there.
Oh, we do an AA program.
And
people get to go to the AA program. I know that's part of
you
work.
follow them through for the 90 days or the 120 days. I mean, that's tremendous work you're doing over there, and you deserve to be applauded. But a lot of people know what you're doing over there. But for the viewers who don't know, Mr. Edgar George has a program over in Riverside on Bower Street for individuals who are returning from incarceration to come home and want to do something positive and put their life in the right direction. You just go online and apply for the second chance form, and everything's online. You fill it out, and someone will be in touch with you. And thanks again for coming.
I have to just say thank you for getting the street signs for 30th and Bauer, so people are not confused. As you know, for the longest time, there was no signs at our corner. Nobody knew where we were. You managed to get that sign up on the morning. So you actually do what you say. You walk the talk and do the talk. So thank you for saying.
I'm just a voice, and I'm only one person. I may not get to it right away, but it's other people I have to reach out to. So once they follow up with me, I follow up with them. But most of the time, 98% of the time, we get things done, and that's not a bad record. So thank you so much.